Hello, dear friends. Have you ever felt an overwhelming sense of loneliness, as if the vibrant connections and familiar places in your life were slipping away? Perhaps invitations stopped coming, certain doors quietly closed, and suddenly you found yourself feeling invisible, as if the world had moved on without you. These moments, though heavy and confusing, carry a profound truth that I want to share with you today. Isolation can feel like abandonment, but let me assure you it's not. You are not being forgotten, you are being chosen. Yes, chosen. When God separates someone, it is not to punish or discard them, but to transform them. It is during these quiet, solitary seasons that profound change happens. Isolation is not a loss, it is a gift of preparation. It signals that something extraordinary is on the horizon, waiting to unfold in your life. Today, I invite you to embark on a journey with me, a journey to understand the deeper meaning behind these seasons of isolation. Together, we will explore the 7 reasons why God chooses to isolate those He has called. If you've ever felt this way, this message is for you. Let's uncover the purpose behind the pain and discover the beauty within the solitude. But before we delve deeper, I want to remind you this is not a journey to take alone. Join our community by subscribing to the channel. Here, you'll find encouragement, wisdom, and messages designed to uplift and guide you through every step of your path. By staying connected, you ensure that no important insight slips by unnoticed. Now, let's return to the heart of this message. Why does God isolate the chosen? Because He sees in you what you may not yet see in yourself. In isolation, He shields you from distractions, allowing you to focus, reflect, and grow. He works on your character, chiseling away at the parts that no longer serve you. He strengthens your spirit, readying you to carry out the extraordinary purpose for which you were created. This sacred separation is a process of protection, empowerment, and renewal. It is the quiet before the symphony, the pause before the breakthrough. And in those moments when the silence feels too loud and the loneliness unbearable, remember this: God is not hiding you from the world, He is hiding you for the world. Each of us has a calling, a unique role only we can fulfill. Sometimes the preparation for that calling requires stepping away from the noise of life and entering a season of solitude. This is not a time to despair, but to embrace. Trust that God is at work, orchestrating something far greater than you can imagine. So, are you ready to uncover the 7 reasons why God isolates the chosen? Together, we will explore these truths and emerge stronger, wiser, and ready to fulfill the destiny that awaits us. Let's begin this transformative journey. Stay with me, because what's ahead is nothing short of life-changing. Why God isolates the chosen: a journey of protection and preparation. One of the profound reasons God isolates those He has chosen is to protect them. As humans, we are often drawn to places, groups, and relationships that seem appealing on the surface. We seek connection, belonging, and admiration. Yet our perspective is limited. What appears harmless or desirable might conceal unseen dangers, hidden intentions, or toxic energies that can harm us in ways we cannot predict. God, in His infinite wisdom, sees beyond what our eyes can perceive. He knows the dangers lurking beneath the surface of seemingly pleasant environments. There are individuals and situations that, while alluring at first glance, may harbor negative intentions or serve as obstacles to our purpose. By distancing you from such influences, God shields you, your faith, your mental and emotional health, and your destiny from harm. Sometimes this divine protection feels like rejection or loneliness. You may feel confused or hurt, wondering why certain doors remain closed or why people drift away. However, it's crucial to understand that not everyone who enters your life has your best interests at heart. Some may wear the mask of friendship but bring doubts, insecurities, or distractions. God, out of love and care, separates you from these influences, even when you cannot see the danger for yourself. When you feel the sting of isolation, resist the urge to force connections or remain in environments that do not serve your growth. Trust that God is working behind the scenes, sparing you from struggles you may never fully comprehend. This period of solitude, though painful, is a testament to His protective hand over your life. He knows the road ahead and what is needed to keep you on the right path. Isolation is not merely about protection, it is also an opportunity for transformation. During these moments, God invites you to reflect on your life's purpose and reconnect with Him. As distractions fall away, space opens for deeper faith, clarity, and personal growth. It is a sacred time to strengthen your resolve, to align yourself with God's vision, and to prepare for the blessings yet to come. When God isolates the chosen, it is not just about shielding them, it is also about preparation, a preparation for something far greater than what you might envision. Every person chosen by God is called to a unique and profound purpose, but fulfilling that purpose requires readiness. Before He reveals you to the world, He must refine and equip you for the journey ahead. Consider the story of David. After his triumph over Goliath, a victory that thrust him into the public eye, David's journey to the throne was far from immediate. He faced wilderness seasons, endured persecution from Saul, and had to learn the art of leading difficult men. These trials were not punishments, they were the foundation upon which David's kingship was built. Through adversity, he developed resilience, wisdom, and unwavering trust in God, qualities that defined his reign. Similarly, you may find yourself in a season of difficulty and solitude. It may feel as though progress has stalled or that you are wandering in the wilderness. But this time is not wasted. God is molding you, stripping away what no longer serves your purpose, and instilling in you the traits necessary for your mission. Patience, resilience, and discernment are being cultivated in you, qualities you will need to lead, to thrive, and to overcome future challenges. It's natural to desire quick success or immediate recognition. However, divine promotion requires preparation. God does not elevate those who are unprepared, as doing so would undermine their ability to sustain the responsibilities and blessings of their calling. The time of isolation, though difficult, is a sacred season of preparation. Embrace it fully, seeking God's guidance and trusting His timing. Every challenge you face, every moment of loneliness, is shaping you into the person God intends you to be. These experiences are laying the groundwork for your future victories. Trust that the waiting is purposeful. When the time is right, you will emerge from this season with renewed strength, clarity, and a deeper connection to your calling. If you find yourself in isolation, take heart. This is not a punishment but a divine process. Trust that God is orchestrating something extraordinary in your life. Allow this time to refine and strengthen you, so when your moment comes, you are ready to step boldly into the purpose He has prepared for you. Remember, isolation is not the end of your story, it is the prelude to something far greater than you can imagine. One profound reason why God chooses to isolate His chosen is to empower them. Have you ever noticed how isolation often brings with it a wave of challenges? These challenges are not mere coincidences, but purposeful trials allowed by God to prepare and teach you. In the solitude of these moments, you discover hidden abilities and strengths you never imagined possessing. Take, for instance, the story of David. Before he ascended to kingship, David was tasked with leading a group of men who were societal outcasts, men burdened with their own struggles and flaws. Through this process, he honed his ability to lead, to empathize with their weaknesses, and to guide them toward a unified purpose. These men, once considered broken and insignificant, became his loyal and formidable soldiers. David's leadership journey was far from easy, yet it was crucial for his growth. He learned patience, resilience, and wisdom, qualities essential for his destiny. Isolation is, indeed, a sacred classroom where God teaches you to face rejection and criticism, preparing you for the greater leadership roles ahead. Every challenge encountered during isolation is an invitation to growth. It is a divine moment for strengthening yourself and equipping your character for what lies ahead. God, in His infinite wisdom, hides those he intends to reveal at the right time. This period of concealment is not a delay, but a preparation, a deliberate shaping of your heart, faith, and resilience. While you may feel invisible to the world, God is meticulously working within you, molding you for the purpose he has envisioned. Trust in this hidden season, for it serves as a shield of protection and a foundation for your ultimate purpose. When the appointed time arrives, no opposing force will be able to hinder your unveiling. God's timing is flawless, and when he reveals his chosen, it is in such a glorious and undeniable way that all will recognize his hand at work. If you find yourself in a season of obscurity, feeling hidden or overlooked, take heart and trust in God's plan. This phase is not a punishment but a process. It is his way of preparing the stage so that when your moment comes, you can shine with the fullness of his purpose. Embrace the concealment, knowing that God is carefully orchestrating every detail of your journey. Keep your faith alive, for the time of revelation will come, and you will stand ready to embrace the incredible destiny he has prepared for you. When God decides to unveil his chosen, it will be a moment of undeniable power and purpose. Until then, trust the process, grow through the challenges, and prepare to step into the extraordinary future he has promised. Before God elevates the chosen ones, he first conceals them, a profound and intentional process that prepares individuals for their ultimate purpose. This act of divine isolation is not a mark of rejection or failure, but rather a sacred period of preparation. Consider the story of Joseph, a poignant example of this spiritual principle. Betrayed by his brothers, he was thrown into a pit, sold into slavery, and later imprisoned. Each trial was a stepping stone in God's meticulous plan. At the appointed time, Joseph was unveiled to the world, not as a victim but as the governor of Egypt, a position of immense power and influence. His journey illustrates a timeless truth: when God decides to reveal his chosen one, no force on earth can obstruct that revelation. Perhaps you find yourself in a similar phase of hiddenness, feeling unseen or undervalued. It may seem like the world has forgotten you, but this period of solitude is, in fact, a harbinger of transformation. Like Joseph, your time in the shadows is not wasted. It is an essential precursor to the greatness that lies ahead. God is meticulously shaping your character, fortifying your faith, and preparing your heart for a role only you can fulfill. This concealment is an indication that your season of elevation is imminent. When the moment arrives, the unveiling will be undeniable, and those who doubted will witness the hand of God at work in your life. The Bible is replete with stories of God's chosen people undergoing periods of isolation, each with a divine purpose. Moses, raised amidst the grandeur of Pharaoh's court, fled to the desert after a moment of impetuous justice. For 40 years he lived in obscurity, shepherding flocks far removed from the world he once knew. This isolation was not a punishment but a period of preparation. In the silence of the desert, Moses learned dependence on God and cultivated leadership qualities that would later enable him to guide the Israelites through their exodus from Egypt. The burning bush marked the end of his isolation and the beginning of his mission. Without those years in the wilderness, Moses would not have been ready for the magnitude of his calling. Similarly, your own journey of solitude is a divine classroom. It is a space where God molds and refines you, equipping you for a purpose that exceeds your imagination. The feelings of loneliness or insignificance you may experience are not indicators of abandonment, but signs of an impending shift. Embrace this time of growth, trusting that it is necessary for the extraordinary plan God has designed for you. Do not grow weary or discouraged during this phase. Instead, see it as an opportunity to deepen your faith and align yourself with God's will. Just as Joseph emerged from the dungeon to rule a nation, and Moses transitioned from the desert to deliverance, your moment of revelation is approaching. When it arrives, it will be clear to all that it is God who has elevated you. Trust the process, embrace the isolation, and prepare your heart. Your season of unveiling will be a testament to the divine purpose that has been crafted uniquely for you. Periods of isolation have been a profound and recurring theme in the lives of great biblical figures, each demonstrating how such solitude serves as a crucible for spiritual renewal and preparation for greater purposes. These moments, while often marked by pain and challenge, carry the potential to shape us, deepen our faith, and ready us for the path that lies ahead. Joseph, the son of Jacob, exemplifies this truth vividly. Betrayed by his own brothers and sold into slavery, Joseph's life in Egypt was riddled with hardship. He faced betrayal, imprisonment, and years of suffering, all of which seemed to separate him from the world and the dreams of his youth. Yet, it was in this crucible of isolation that God worked most profoundly. Joseph learned patience, humility, and unwavering trust in God's plan. When the time came for him to rise as governor of Egypt, he was fully prepared to embrace the role. His story reminds us that even the darkest seasons of life can serve as preparation for a purpose far greater than we can imagine. In isolation, God refines our character, shaping us into vessels capable of carrying out his plans. Another compelling example is the Apostle Paul, whose life took a transformative turn after his conversion on the road to Damascus. Following this dramatic encounter, Paul retreated to the Arabian desert for 3 years, stepping away from public life. This time of seclusion was not a period of inactivity, but one of deep reflection, learning, and communion with God. In the silence of the desert, Paul grappled with the truths of the gospel and prepared for his mission to bring the message of Christ to the Gentiles. When he emerged, he carried with him an unshakable faith and a clarity of purpose that would define his ministry. His story teaches us that sometimes stepping back from the noise of life is essential to understanding our calling and aligning ourselves with God's will. The prophet Elijah's journey of isolation is equally powerful. After his bold confrontation with the prophets of Baal, Elijah fled into the wilderness, overwhelmed by fear and discouragement. In the quiet desolation of the desert, he experienced a profound encounter with God, not in the thunder of great events, but in a gentle whisper. This moment of intimacy restored Elijah's faith and prepared him to continue his prophetic ministry. It was in solitude that Elijah found strength, clarity, and the reassurance that he was not alone. His experience underscores that isolation can be a sacred space where we hear God's voice more clearly, free from the distractions of the world. Jesus himself demonstrated the transformative power of solitude, particularly during the 40 days he spent fasting and praying in the wilderness. Facing the devil's temptations, Jesus stood firm, drawing strength from his deep connection with the Father. This period of isolation was not only a preparation for his earthly ministry, but also a testament to the importance of spiritual discipline and unwavering focus. Through prayer and fasting, Jesus fortified himself for the monumental mission of saving humanity. His example is a powerful reminder that intentional withdrawal from worldly distractions can empower us to confront challenges with courage and clarity. These examples collectively reveal a profound truth: isolation, though often difficult, is a fertile ground for growth, reflection, and preparation. In the stillness, God works to mold us, drawing us closer to Him and equipping us for the next phase of our journey. Whether through hardship, quiet retreat, or purposeful solitude, these moments are opportunities for renewal and transformation. If you understand the purpose of your isolation, I invite you to declare it out loud or write it here in the comments. I am chosen. This simple statement is powerful and full of meaning. By declaring this, you are acknowledging that even in moments of solitude and separation, God has a special plan for your life. Isolation is not the end of your journey. In fact, it is the beginning of a great revelation. When God decides to show a chosen one, He does so in a way that is public and undeniable. Think of all the biblical examples we discussed: Moses, Elijah, Jesus, Paul, and Joseph. Each of them went through periods of isolation, but those moments were not in vain. They were fundamental for God to shape them and prepare them for what was to come. Just like them, you are also in a process of preparation. God is working in you, even if you cannot see it right now. It is important to remember that God does nothing by chance. If you feel hidden, if you have been separated from people, opportunities, and environments, know that this is not a mistake. It is a divine action. God is protecting you and preparing you for something greater. He is hiding you so that you can grow, learn, and strengthen yourself. Isolation often feels like a lonely and stagnant phase, but in truth it is a sacred time of preparation. It is during these quiet, unassuming moments that God works most profoundly. He is not just observing but actively shaping, molding, and transforming you for something extraordinary. What seems like silence is, in fact, a divine symphony orchestrating your future. Remember, this is not the end of your story, it is the beginning of a powerful revelation. When God selects and prepares someone for a unique purpose, the process is unmistakable. His work in your life will be so evident, so transformative, that others will see the evidence of His power without you needing to utter a word. You will become a living testimony of God's grace and glory, a beacon of hope and faith for those around you. However, the road to this revelation is not without challenges. It demands faith, resilience, and an unwavering trust in His timing. This period of isolation is not a punishment but a gift, a divine pause for reflection, growth, and renewal. Each day is an opportunity to draw closer to God, to deepen your faith, and to shed the distractions that have weighed you down. He is removing what no longer serves you, be it habits, relationships, or fears, to make space for something far greater. Embrace this transformative process with an open heart, for it is essential preparation for the purpose He has set before you. Instead of viewing isolation as a burden, see it as a fertile ground for spiritual growth. Each prayer, each moment of surrender draws you nearer to the Creator and aligns you with His plan. You are not merely enduring this season, you are being refined for a destiny that only you can fulfill. Trust that God is working behind the scenes, shaping you for a role that will glorify Him and inspire others. If this message resonates with your heart, do not keep it to yourself. Share it with others, perhaps 7 people who may be in need of encouragement today. Sometimes, a single word of hope can change the trajectory of someone's life. By sharing your journey, you become an instrument of God's voice, reminding others that they, too, are chosen and cherished. The act of giving hope is itself a testament to the transformation happening within you. Let others see that isolation is not the end, it is a divine beginning. Through your story, they will understand that God is at work in their lives, just as He is in yours. Be the light that guides someone out of their darkness, showing them that the best is yet to come. Above all, remember that you are chosen. Declare it with unwavering faith, I am chosen, believe it, embrace it, and live with the certainty that God's promises are true. Even in moments of solitude, trust that He is by your side, preparing your heart for something extraordinary. This journey is not without purpose, it is the foundation for the grand revelation of His plan for you. The challenges you face now are the stepping stones to a future that will glorify God and demonstrate His faithfulness. When the time comes, you will step into a new phase of your life, one filled with purpose, fulfillment, and divine alignment. Stay strong and confident, for isolation is not the end of the road, it is the beginning of a magnificent journey. The best is yet to come. Prepare yourself, for what I'm about to share is unlike anything you've encountered. It's not by chance that you found your way here, this moment was ordained for you. I urge you to pause, embrace stillness, and open your heart to what is coming. This is no ordinary moment, it is a divine appointment. If you are among the chosen, those handpicked by God for His purpose, then this message will resonate deeply within your soul. For those who may not yet believe, this may feel unfamiliar. You are free to leave, but for those called by the Spirit, every word you hear will stir something profound within you. I speak to you today not with words born of human wisdom, but with a revelation ignited by the Spirit of the living God. This message carries the weight of fire, power, and awakening, a clarion call echoing through the heavens. It beckons the chosen to step boldly into their divine destiny. This is not just an ordinary encouragement, it is a trumpet blast signaling a new beginning. The strength that will carry you to victory is not of this world, it is a divine force, a supernatural empowerment placed within you by the Creator Himself. This strength is what separates the conquerors from the defeated, the chosen from the crowd, and the victorious from the broken. Today, you are being summoned to activate that strength and step into the fullness of your purpose. Before we venture further, I must take a moment to express my heartfelt gratitude to every individual who has stood with this mission, offering prayers, love, and generosity. You are more than supporters, you are co-laborers in God's work. Your contributions, whether through comments, super thanks, or other forms of support, have helped illuminate paths for those in darkness. Together, we are spreading hope and light to places where they are most needed. From the depths of my heart, thank you. If this message resonates with your spirit, I invite you to declare it boldly. Type "Thank you, Jesus" in the comments. Let it be your declaration, your way of saying, "I hear you, Lord. I am chosen, and I am ready for your plan." This is more than just a message, it is an invitation to transformation, a divine reminder that you were created for more. Today is the day to rise, to reclaim your strength, and to walk in the purpose God has prepared for you. Do not let this moment pass by unnoticed. Hear the call, embrace it, and let the fire within you be reignited. The heavens are watching, the earth is waiting, and your time is now. You are chosen a journey into purpose, strength, and victory. Have you ever paused to truly consider the profound truth of your existence? You are not here by coincidence, nor were you crafted to merely drift through life unnoticed. Each fiber of your being was meticulously designed by the Creator, who shaped you with an extraordinary purpose in mind. This is no ordinary calling. As the Apostle Paul declares in Ephesians 2 verse 10, "For we are God's handiwork, created in Christ Jesus to do good works, which God prepared in advance for us to do." Reflect on this. Every joy, every challenge, and every moment of your life has been intricately woven into God's greater design. Nothing is wasted. You were chosen to illuminate the world with His light, fulfilling a mission that no one else can achieve. Yet, to walk in divine purpose is to face resistance. Great callings often come with equally great battles. The enemy seeks to cloud your mind, sowing seeds of doubt and distraction. The greater your destiny, the fiercer the fight. But here lies the unshakable truth: the same God who called you is the one who equips you. He has placed within you an unyielding strength, an undefeatable power, and a purpose that will not falter. The storms may rage, but your foundation is secure in Him. What is this strength, you ask? It is not drawn from mere determination or human will. Final strength, the strength that carries you through, is divine. It is the supernatural power of God that steps in when your own strength is exhausted. This is the strength that sustained the widow of Zarephath when she gave her last bit of flour and oil to Elijah, unlocking a miracle that sustained her through famine. 1 Kings 17 verse 7 to 16. It is the strength that empowered Daniel to remain steadfast in faith as he faced the lion's den, where God's power turned a place of certain death into a testimony of His greatness. And this same strength is not confined to the pages of Scripture, it is your inheritance today. There will come moments when you reach the end of yourself. When your plans unravel, resources dwindle, and companions fade away, you will stand at a crossroads. In that moment, you will face a choice: to surrender or to press forward. Those who activate their divine strength will witness the impossible unfold. Consider the Israelites, trapped between Pharaoh's army and the vast Red Sea. In that desperate hour, God commanded, "Tell the people of Israel to go forward." Exodus 14 verse 15. In obedience, Moses stretched out his hand, and the waters parted, transforming an impassable barrier into the very path of their deliverance. This is the essence of divine strength. It turns obstacles into opportunities, barriers into breakthroughs, and defeat into glorious victory. Victory is not a distant hope, it is a promised reality. The word proclaims in Romans 8 verse 37, in all these things, we are more than conquerors through him who loved us. Your trials are not meant to break you, but to refine you. You were born to thrive, to rise stronger from every challenge. Yet, remember this truth, there is no crown without a cross, no testimony without a test, and no breakthrough without a battle. But take heart. The battle is not yours, it belongs to the Lord. 2 Chronicles 20 verse 15. Stand firm, chosen one, for your victory is assured. In this journey, embrace your calling, activate your strength, and trust in the one who goes before you. Your purpose is divine, your strength is unshakable, and your victory is inevitable. You were born to shine, to overcome, and to carry his light into a world in desperate need of hope. The path may be daunting, but the reward is eternal. Rise, chosen one. The world awaits your light. The time is now. No more hesitation, no more second guessing. The world is aching for the light you carry within. Heaven is cheering you on with unrelenting passion, while the enemy trembles in fear, knowing the power that is unleashed when you step into your purpose. The promise of Isaiah 40 verse 31 resonates deeply. Those who wait on the Lord shall renew their strength. They shall mount up with wings like eagles, they shall run and not be weary, they shall walk and not faint. This is your moment of renewal. Your strength is being restored, your path is being cleared, and your victory is closer than you realize. Step boldly into your calling, for with God, the impossible becomes reality. Let us approach the throne of grace in prayer. Heavenly Father, we come before you with hearts full of gratitude for this sacred moment. Thank you for calling us out of darkness and into the radiance of your marvelous light. Lord, we lay down our weaknesses, fears, and uncertainties at your feet. Fill us with your divine strength, the kind that transcends human understanding and carries us through every trial. Father, grant us courage to rise above adversity. When the world seeks to break us, remind us of your unshakable promises that we are more than conquerors through Christ who loves us. Teach us to trust in you, not in our limited understanding, for you alone are the source of wisdom and power. For everyone listening today, Father, I ask that you awaken their divine purpose. Shatter the chains of fear, self-doubt, and discouragement that have held them captive. Open their eyes to the greatness you have sown within them and guide their steps on the path you have prepared. As they step out in faith, Lord, meet them with miracles. Reveal yourself as the God who makes a way where there seems to be none. Empower them with your Spirit, leading and comforting them at every turn. We declare victory in your name, for you have already triumphed over all. Thank you, Lord, for being our shield, our strength, and our deliverer. We trust in your plans and boldly step into the destiny you have crafted for us. Beloved, this is your moment to rise. Do not wait for perfect conditions. Perfection is not the prerequisite for action, faith is. Do not wait for fear to dissolve. Courage is not the absence of fear, but the resolve to act in spite of it. The time to step into your purpose is now. Take that first bold step, whatever it may be. Perhaps it is committing to a season of prayer and fasting. Perhaps it is opening your Bible with a hunger for God's direction. Or perhaps it is finally saying yes to the calling you have been avoiding for far too long. Whatever it is, do it with boldness and trust. Remember, God does not call the qualified, he qualifies the called. If he is calling you, it means he has already provided everything you need to succeed. The world is desperate for the unique gift God has placed within you. Do not hide it. Do not let fear dim your light. Instead, let it shine boldly, illuminating the path for others and bringing glory to his name. Now is the time to act. Now is the time to believe. Rise to the occasion, chosen one, and watch as God works wonders through you. Your moment is here. Seize it with faith, courage, and unwavering determination.